Hey guys, welcome to BP The Bible Perspective. In 3 days, President-elect Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. Can he, as he promised, unite this nation? Well, in order to answer that question, we have to ask two other questions. What is the source of the division in this nation? And what is in the heart of people? Now, Biden's hope to unite the nation is, in my opinion, grossly unrealistic and will never happen. And the reason why is because we have to understand why the nation is divided in the first place. And then, more importantly, what is in the hearts of people. Back in 1776, despite the creed of this nation, the Constitution was enacted. The belief was all men were created equal except for black Africans, who at the time of 1776, nearly 15 generations had already been born on this land, which should have granted them citizenship like the other white whites who were granted citizenship at the time of 1776. Why did that happen? And understand that the slaves issue had always been a sore spot with this nation. That there were always people who were opposed as well as people who were for it. And in the end, the reason why this nation remained divided past 1776 was because of law. The law was enacted. And that would go some little over 80 years when in 1860 the war started over slavery. And they fought the bloodiest war of America over slavery. So the nation was divided to the point of a civil war. What was the cause? What was the division? Slavery. Now let me tell you states' rights, but states' rights for what? To have slaves. And even after the South conceded in 1865, was the nation unified? Well, yeah, they were by law. But the hearts of the people, some, didn't change. Which is why 20 years later we had Jim Crow. And there was a whole lot of other stuff that kind of intersected with that, compromises and all that. And just a little small note that even though a lot of people are hailed as great emancipators like Lincoln, slavery wasn't the biggest issue on their agenda. They just kind of knew they had to address it and they couldn't get around it. In other words, the point is that the hearts of people, even with Lincoln, if he could have ended the war without freeing the slaves, he would have done it. That's the heart issue. And that led, of course, to the passing of Jim Crow laws in this great nation of freedoms, and not only freedoms, but Christian values that they target a race of people and say, you're inferior to us. And that would go on into 1965, after a hard fought over a decade. Think about this. Of fighting for civil rights. Finally, the civil rights bills were passed. So was the nation unified? Yeah, by law, but not in the hearts. And so we've always had issues of division in this nation. And of course, one of these divisions really reared up over this last election, to the point that there were people who were willing to go to war, who attacked the U.S. government. Now, what was the source of the division? I'm really not clear. They lost the election, but they were lied to and said, we won. But it was also the other ideals behind that, what they thought was in Trump. As Ann Coulter wrote, even before he got in Trump we trust. Well, that would seem to be more prophetic. So the point is, can Biden unite? He will never unite. He will never unite the nation. And the reason why he will never unite the nation is because there are things in people's heart that always will prevent that. What he can do is uphold the rule of law. And law is will always trump. In other words, I don't care about people whose hearts are so dark that they're willing to divide this nation, destroy this nation with the war. But what would happen, and what can happen, and what should happen, hey, is you maintain law. And that is how you would keep the nation united. That's my perspective. Don't forget to like and share this video. And please subscribe to BP The Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. Till next time, I'll see you then.